celebrating 17 years of Young Turks.
Girish Mathrubootham, great to meet you here at CNBC-TV18 on the sidelines of TEDx Chennai. I just watched your talk and you made a massive pitch for football and sports. I have to start by asking you, why football and why Chennai and why now more specifically?
No, I think if you look at football, it is the most popular sport in the world, and it is the epitome of athleticism. And like when you look at India, like something that pains me personally is where we are in the world of football. And I think as a fan, and we all know that India is a country of football fans. The key question is, do we remain as fans, or can we have Indians playing in Chelsea and Man U? And that's the dream. So we want to find the next Messi from Madras, and that's why we have started this initiative.
Right. And something very interesting that you spoke about is just how important it is that we take multiple leaps forward in terms of promoting not just sport, but in your case, football itself. You're supporting a club, FC Madras. Talk me through with this partnership. What is it all about, and what do you plan to achieve with regard to FC Madras itself?
Yeah. So we have taken a very different and a long-term approach. So this started 2 years ago when I met the coaches Arindam and Joseph. So they were running a training business in Chennai, a recreational training for hundreds of kids. But what Arindam was trying to do was he was trying to build an elite team. So unlike most of the leagues which start at the senior level where you bring a lot of foreign players and immediately enter into the league, so the right way to do this, our belief was that you start young. And Arindam actually was the one who was so passionate about that. Right. So he wanted to start with young children, under 11, under 9, under 13, and he wanted to build teams. And because his belief was the team has to train under the same system for several years before you can actually produce a champion team. And this is how it's done in the world.
Right.
But in order to do that, the resource requirements were huge because there's no money even in professional football in India. So if you were talking about grassroots training, there are no sponsorships. So we thought, okay, this is a great passion and dream for a coach, and somebody had to support him. So that's how we came together, and we created FC Madras as a grassroots training academy, focusing on under 13, under 15 age groups. And now we have a fully residential academy. We have an international size 100 meters by 65 meter football field, which is artificial turf. And we have 40 kids who have been scouted from all over the country. And we provide nutritional food. We provide education also for them because we don't want the kids to lose out on education. But it is high-performance football training first, supplemented with education.
All right, back to business now, what we normally speak about. It's been close to 12 months now since you launched Freshworks 360. Give us an update. What's the growth been like? How many customers on the embedded, the complete platform as on date? How quickly has it grown?
So I think we announced Freshworks 360 in June last year. So I think the adoption has been really positive. At least 5% of our customers who are using the overall platform. So I think it's
on Freshworks 360.
On Freshworks, and so we see this as the future.
Okay.
So and our whole acquisition strategy is around getting people through by giving them whatever they want. But then how can they grow into the 360?
But it's also Freshsales. It's been a few years, not over 2.5 years to 3 years since you launched Freshsales. How has it shaped up since launch, and what kind of leverage are you enjoying over competitors like Salesforce?
Freshsales is actually one of our fastest growing products. So it's actually the number of customers we are adding every month is almost similar to our other bigger products. So it's 2 years old, but we have probably crossed several thousands of customers on Freshsales. So I think we are really excited. We are seeing very healthy growth on Freshsales.
Yeah, and in terms of reading up on Freshsales itself, I noticed that the one big leverage you enjoy over Salesforce, and you make no bones of publicizing this, is with regard to pricing itself. You price it very competitively when comparison to Salesforce. Is that model here to stay, competitive pricing, and is it something you're going to go ahead with as well?
Yes, I am fundamentally a believer in that model. So basically, there are many companies that go and want to sell to the Fortune 2000. So we say we like to sell to the not so fortunate 2 million.
2 million.
Right? So and so we don't really go and sell to the largest of the large enterprises. We stay to, we like to say we hunt deer and rabbits and we don't hunt elephants.
Right. You also notched up 100 million in terms of revenue late last year for the first time in your journey. What next, Girish? What's the next big target going forward?
No, I think, so we announced that we crossed 100 million, I think in the middle of last year. So we've been really fortunate to have scale and growth. So I think we are excited about the possibility of building the next massive global product company out of India. So that is our whole purpose.
Your latest round of funding also sees you expanding and also investing back in the CRM ecosystem. What's the update with regard to both these processes? Where are you expanding to, and what are the investments looking like?
No, I think we are really expanding globally. So you know that we probably have customers in more than 126 countries.
Right.
So we don't have physical offices in all of them. We don't intend to, but just going deeper into those markets is one area where we are
So which are the geographies that you want to delve deeper into?
So we are looking at, inside Europe, we're looking at Paris and Netherlands. We're going into Singapore and Japan. So I think these are probably the focus areas for this year. And more investment into product. So making our product vision come true in terms of the 360 experience.
At present, SMBs contribute to 2/3 of the kind of customers that you have. Big business, of course, around 36% approximately. Any plans of changing this ratio? Are you looking to do more business with big businesses? Is that something that you're looking at?
I think we are naturally seeing it. So we don't have to plan for it. So what we are seeing is, if you look at the number of customers that we are bringing in this year, so the share of the larger business is actually going up on its own because we are getting pulled into larger accounts,
Right.
which is good. So, but we are not really, so our focus is on making the product intuitive and beautiful. And what's interesting is many of the larger companies actually like us for the same reason that SMBs love us.
Right.
The intuitive product and the affordable pricing and full functionality.
Right. Recently, Sridhar Vembu of Zoho said that there was way too much overpricing in terms of the enterprise software that exists as on date. And the situation isn't exactly great for the industry, and a price correction could possibly be expected. Is that something that you agree with?
I think we already said that is something I fundamentally believe in. Like, we don't believe in like charging too much for customers. And also, if you look at the total cost of ownership, so our focus is about how can we give a low touch professional services experience. Meaning today, more than the cost of the software, companies spend a lot of money in getting the consultants to come in and customize and implement it. So our product strategy has always been about how can we get things working out of the box and with no touch or low touch professional services. So that's something that we focus on, like the consumerization of IT.
Right.
So like, for example, if you want some extra functionality on your Apple iPhone, go and call a consultant, right? You go to the marketplace and install apps. So that's the same approach that we are taking.
Right. Moving forward, he also mentioned, in terms of the cloud space, that the possibility in this situation with regard to too much money being pumped into the cloud space. Is there an overfunding situation at present?
So I think if you look at funding in startups, we are living in a world where startup funding is available, and there are, I would call it, a tsunami of startups is coming. So I think it's a good thing in one way to see more innovation and more innovative companies. Now, I'm not, Sridhar is very fond of economics. I'm not an economist, so I don't know. I can't comment on like how much is too much. So,
okay, all right. I have to ask you then, you recently invested in a startup called Pick Your Trail. They were, of course, extremely promising, and now they're hoping to do big things. What was the reason behind funding them? I know you were very excited about the work that they were doing. Just talk me through that investment.
No, I think, first of all, Pick Your Trail is founded by Hari, who's a great entrepreneur. Fundamentally, for me, it's all about the founder and the product in his approach. So that I loved about him. What I really liked about the whole Pick Your Trail experience is I have a lot of employees at Freshworks who actually use Pick Your Trail. I've used it myself. So I think the whole idea of really taking away the hassle of your travel planning resonated with me, and just think about it, right? So if you are traveling somewhere in, let's say, New Zealand or Barcelona, if you could have an app which tells you like okay, at 10 o'clock this is your activity, and when you finish that, oh, here's an Indian restaurant nearby, and your next activity is at 2 o'clock, and you have to start, and here is the Google Map link to automatically navigate to that. So I think nobody has come even close to giving that kind of a personalized experience to take away the hassle of travel. Right. So I think they have thought through that well.
So are we seeing the genesis of Girish Mathrubootham, the startup investor, and which are the startups that you will be interested in going forward?
No, I think giving back. So I tend to, it's not actually a financial reason, that's not the motivation for me to invest. So I think if I meet a founder who's social credibility, right? So then I would love to help.
Any specific avenues that you're interested in, Girish, in terms of
I generally look at SaaS companies where I can help the founders with scaling the company. So I've made some exceptions for the right product, but broadly it's all B2B SaaS.
Right. On that note, great talking to you as always. All the very best for FC Madras and Freshworks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Girish.
Celebrating 17 years of Young Turks.